Yeah, first is good evening to ladies and gentlemen, members of the media. It's not evening. Hey, afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon, members of the media. Yeah, that's how my body clock is already telling me. Yeah. First, thanks for your patience. We really appreciate it. The good game in prospect. I'm sure everyone's waiting with huge anticipation for it. Both Sundowns and Ahly have a lot to play for in the group, and still 3 games to go and a lot of work still to be done. So one game at a time for us, and the next one is a very difficult one against a very good opponent. And we're putting in the work and we're preparing ourselves and looking forward to it for sure.
Thank you, Coach. Khuliso, congratulations on the Bafana call up firstly. Just obviously coming off a very tough cauldron in Cairo as well with the club. Just your thoughts on this opponent as well, who are very familiar to you as well. Just your thoughts ahead of this game.
Good afternoon, everyone. Obviously, it's a big game, to be honest. As Mamelodi Sundowns, we're going to make sure that we get to win the game, because obviously also they want to win the game, but we need the win more than them. So I think we're going there to fight to make sure that we get the 3 points.
Members of the media, I'll open the floor straight to you. Please identify yourself in the media house before posing a question. In the back, please.
Thanks. Coach, it's from ENCA.
Sure, it's Paul.
The importance of winning this match, looking at the fact that you could potentially eliminate Ahly as well. Win this game, get to 10 points, and then for them already at 9, and then the problem with that is that Rhulani will 1 point and then that's protected. The importance of probably finishing this game in terms of advancing to the next phase of competition.
Yeah. Look, our focus is always on ourselves. We try to make sure that we can do the best that we can for this football club, and the focus has to be like that, because we can't control what happens to the other teams. We can focus on ourselves, and we can focus on our performance and giving ourselves the best opportunity to win the football match, and of course then to move as close as possible to 10 points, and then we have to then try to target qualification after that, whether first or second position, and we have to work very, very hard. Nothing's going to be given to us on a silver platter. We've got to earn everything that we receive, and this is the mentality that we have, and that's the only way that's going to help us to survive and continue the journey of the Champions League.
Coach,
Sure, come on.
Coach, for the previous campaigns, Mamelodi Sundowns has been about win your home games and try to at least get a draw when you go away. Is it still the same mentality, or applying the mentality that you've been applying this season, or try to win as much games as possible?
Yeah, we try to win every single game. We try to win every single training session, we try to win every single pass. We try to win every single sprint. We try to win every single duel. The mentality is based on that. We try to breed a mentality that is recognizable by the fans of this football club, and the fans of the football club recognize winning, and the club is based on that. So we try every single day to make sure that we win. We win the day, we win the match, we win the session, we win, and that's the mentality. And so we go into the next match with that mentality. Fortunately, we are still in the last 3 competitions of the season. We still have a big shout in how well we do this season with regards to how we perform and where we end up. And so far, the players have shown an incredible appetite. intensity that is worthy of the performances that we expect. And so I expect also as the coach nothing less than a spirited fight to try to win the football match on Saturday.
Coach Lorenz.
Sure, Lawrence.
Percy Tau has been a regular fixture now in the squad since he's come back from CG. Have you noted how he's got a completely different role under the new head coach? Is there any plans to nullify him? And then also, Ahly's never won in South Africa before. 3 o'clock kickoff is one of the biggest complaints from the fan base in the region. Do you think that they could potentially, come with a different game plan, because previous times have been kind of underwhelming in that we had South Africa during the summer?
Yeah, Percy is playing completely different. The last 3 games also completely different as compared to where he played against us. And against us in Cairo, he played 3 different positions in 90 minutes. And but very good player, one of our best exports. And I don't speak too much about him first because he's not a Mamelodi Sundowns player, and so I've got to have a lot of respect by what I say and how I speak about players that are not my players. And second, because maybe I'm a little bit biased, of course, in my opinion about Percy, so I try not to say too much. So I will leave it at that. Ahly, with regards to having never won, is difficult to comment, because when I look at their team, I see a team that's got 393 CAF Champions League appearances amongst their starting lineup against us. That's close to 400 appearances in the Champions League, and that's the level of experience that they have, as compared to my team that has 170 odd CAF Champions League appearances. And so, for sure, without looking too much into the threat that they possess and the quality that they have, and like with every other team, they've got weaknesses. But we have to try to win the football match, and we have to try to make sure that regardless of whether we play at 3 or 6 or 9, whether we play at home or away, and like we showed with the same enthusiasm and character and spirit, we did that in Cairo, and we have to do it as well again. This is the games that the players have got to get used to play. Big games with consequence behind the scoreline. And the only way they can get used to doing that is to play these games and get that level of experience. And so we all have to give them a fair chance, to make a name for themselves and make history for themselves with the football club. And it starts with every game, every training session. So not much changes with regards to that.
Now, Mr. Namya, welcome to shows to Sela. You joined Sundowns 2 years and some change, maybe almost 3 years ago. And you came from a team where playing for survival for relegation was a thing, and the jump was big, and it was evident in the first season because really how you struggled to be in the starting lineup consistently, and now the improvement in the past year and a half has been unthinkable. I personally think you've become the best one-on-one defender in the country, and it's amazing to watch. So to stay competitive at that level, and obviously the change from playing for relegation to playing on the biggest stage on the continent consistently, national team collapse. What do you have to do to make sure that you're constantly there, and what next?
Obviously, I just need to help the team firstly, and make sure that I'm doing very well when I get inside the pitch, and make sure that I help the team with everything I can do. And obviously I used to play for Black Club, but it was tough. That's we were fighting for relegation every season. But when you come to Mamelodi, that's obviously we're gonna play Champions League, Nedbank Cup, and 10-8 in the league. So the mentality, obviously, it needs to adjust to those kind of things, you know. So I think, yeah, I did adjust a lot, and every time when I go inside the pitch, you know, I wanna learn. I wanna make sure that I help the team also.
Afternoon, Carol.
Coach, I think the benchmark of Sundowns for the last couple of years has been second to none. You measure yourselves against international clubs as well. But maybe you can just go into more detail regards to why does now Sundowns for the last couple of years also allows supporters to come into stadiums, for free, or wearing yellow Sundowns jerseys, because top clubs don't do that. But is it you guys because of the social ills of the country? What exactly is the idea or the analogy of you guys doing that?
Sure. I don't know if I can answer that question because I don't think I'm privileged enough to understand far too much beyond my scope, because already coaching this team is so much work, So the club has employed specialists in different departments, and for sure I think there's a lot of common sense and a lot of intelligence that goes behind the decisions that the football club makes. But I don't think I'm privileged enough to have enough information to be able to answer the reasons as to why.
I think Mr. question for you.
Yeah, Coach, I think a lot of people were looking at Ahly and Sundowns. I'm not sure if Ahly, they are a surprise package or what, but where does that put you? Because it means, depending on the result this weekend, chances are one of the big teams could be eliminated come this weekend. I mean, the performance of Ahly, where it puts the two superpowers, that is Sundowns and Ahly.
Yeah, when the draw was made, I spoke about the profile of the group, and I made reference to the fact that there's 4 very good sides, very, very good sides. Cotton Sport have incredible pedigree in this on the African continent, one of the big teams in Cameroon, if not the biggest, with a huge pedigree both in terms of winning things domestically for in their competitions, and also that they've got a reputation of having played in the Confederations Cup final, they played in the Champions League Cup final, and so they are one of the very good sides. Ahly, an extremely competitive side with very, very good players, and we saw that last season already when we were in the same group. And then a very experienced coach, of course, this time around in Ibenge, someone that was who won the Confederations Cup last season, who's played against Sundowns and all the big teams, with his experience of also having coached AS Vita. And so when you profile the group, knowing that there is 4 very good sides. And 4 very good sides means Mamelodi Sundowns is one of the very good sides in that group, and so we know our chances when we work very, very hard. We put a lot of hard work into our preparation, and we work hard on the pitch. We know that we can perform and compete against anybody on the continent, and maybe even fancy our chances against anybody. So we want to take it one game at a time and one opponent at a time, and not look too much ahead of ourselves. So step by step, and as I said, we give this group a fair chance to succeed, and a fair chance to make contributions to this incredible football club, and that's the most important thing with regards to the expectations and the perspective moving forward.
Thanks so much.
Coach, can say from
Sure, kids.
A coach you follow, Steve Kerr, won the NBA championship last season, but wasn't the best team in the league during the season. And he said this week that the difference between his team now and his team when they were just beating everyone else, they knew how to find a way to win. They separated how to find a way to win or how to make a way to win. And when I look at Sundowns, like since they started playing Champions League since the 90s, we only lost 2 games at home, and they were both to North African teams. And North Africans are forever favorites in the Champions League. And Sundowns has played a lot of North African teams, been knocked out of the Champions League by North African teams in the past years. Do you think these games of consequence against Ahly, Wydad, Esperance, one of the teams that beat Sundowns in the Champions League at home, do you think playing those teams more and more, you just mentioned now the amount of games that Ahly, the Ahly squad have played compared to your squad? When I bring that reference to you in terms of this team, do you think playing these teams gives you that opportunity to get games where you can gauge how to make a way to win or how to find a way to win?
It's a very interesting quote. Maybe I've got to also go into that interview to try to find perspective from it. Because I'm sure an incredible coach, Steve Kerr, is one of I follow a lot more basketball coaches than I follow football coaches. But that's only because of the mentality and maybe the competitiveness of the sport itself. But the only way to get that experience is to play these games. You play the games of consequence, you play under pressure, you play games where you have to deliver the results, and the pressure is completely different. The question to Sailor a little bit earlier was, how do you adapt to the pressure of fighting for survival and the pressure of winning things? And it's pressure for sure, and like they say, it sounds cliche, but the reality is it's quite true. There's pressure everywhere, but the pressure at the top is actually a lot better than the pressure at the bottom, and both ends of the spectrum have a lot of pressure. But I would rather have the pressure of finding a way to win and making sure that we win every single day than having the pressure of not having to lose. And this is how the big football clubs are in the world. You watch last night, you see Bayern versus PSG. PSG have invested a lot of money into their squad over the years, but it becomes very, very difficult for them to get a kick into the next round. And so this thing is, Jose Mourinho called it football heritage. And everybody said, well, but it is true. But how do you build heritage? Heritage is built over time and history and consistency. And that is where we have to try to give this group an opportunity to build the heritage that a lot of these clubs have. And these clubs that you speak about that come from North Africa, even though we know we can compete against them, and on any given day we can give our best and we fancy our chances. But for sure they have the football heritage. But the football heritage doesn't win you matches over 90 minutes. And hence I keep pleading for an opportunity for this group to be given a fair chance, and not to be judged by past results, but to be given a fair chance to build their own football heritage. And the only way they can do that is to play more games of consequence, and continue to compete against very good sides, and so that they give themselves a chance to succeed. Sure, Taban.
I wanted to get your thoughts on I think it's 9 players called up for one.
Yeah.
And even to Khuliso himself, basically the same question, where you got so many Sundowns players coming through, and maybe in the past it seems like there was some hesitance or a little bit of hesitance from the national coach to as many
No. No, congratulations. Congratulations, I think fully deserved. Am I surprised? No, because I think national team call-ups have to be merited, and like anything else in football, meritocracy probably becomes the most important principle, and I think the 9 could be 10, could be 11 in my opinion. But my opinion doesn't count because I've got very little say in how the national team is composed, if any say at all. And so mine is just to congratulate the players and wish the national team all the best. Difficult fixtures ahead, of course. But I think my opinion, I think you've seen Germany do it and succeed. You've seen Spain do it and succeed. And I don't think there should be a problem with calling up 9 players from Mamelodi Sundowns, especially if the performance merited and it's for the benefit of the nation and mine is to wish them the best of luck and congratulate them.
I think one of those 9s was looking for a 1-2, but we're going to go back to him. Please, Khuliso, I think the question was also posed to you.
Yeah, as the coach said, I think every player who plays there would deserve to be there in the Bafana camp, because everyone is working hard. Everyone is making sure that everyone helps the team with everything they have, and I think it's a good thing that they chose 9. They can choose more, I don't know, but yeah. So yeah,
I'd love to see more.
Yeah,
I'd love to see more.
Maybe 20.
20, yeah. 20. Well, how about the entire squad? No problem there. Yeah.
I think Mazola, you were next.
No pressure. Sorry, no pressure on Hugo Bros, by the way.
Can I ask a follow-up? Unless if you ask no follow-up.
Can you allow it?
Coach, maybe just as a follow-up to this the first question.
Yeah.
I know in the past you delivered a clear monthly try to take the shine of yourself that came to the players. But having so many players in this team, how does it personally make you feel? You as a coach, because whether you like it or not, it's part of the stuff that you do with the guys that train.
Yeah, it's very difficult. One of the biggest things is emotional detachment that I've learned over the last couple of months. Is I'm so emotionally detached, and many of the reasons are because I understand what is at stake, and I understand a lot of what is required. And so I try not to have any emotions with regards to how I perceive things and how I look at things, and maybe I haven't even looked at the call-ups in that light. It's always a reflection of the hard work of the group, the hard work of everyone involved at the football club. It means we are recruiting the right players, and that recruitment goes into the scouting department, the financial department, the sporting director's office. It means we are working very, very hard in making sure that we are surrounded by the right players. And then that also is a reflection of the amount of hard work that is being put in on the pitch, and that is work that is done by many people and not just myself. And so the coaches that support the players, the analysts that support the players, the conditioning department, Sbu, who is doing an incredible job, Stuart, who's doing a fantastic job to rehabilitate the players and bring them back on time. And so it's always a collective effort, and that's why maybe I try to have this incredible, not incredible, but it's a demanding task of trying to stay emotionally sober So congratulations to the club. I'm sure that this makes the football club very happy, and the supporters extremely proud of the players, and because it makes everyone else proud, of course, then because I am who I am at this moment because of them and because of the football club, for sure I share the same feelings, and very proud of them, but they know that we can do more, and we demand more, and we require more, and we push for more, and that we are never satisfied with any achievements, because we know we are capable of doing even more.
Question to Sailor. If you can, just from a player's perspective, the notion that Sundowns are among the favorites in the Champions League this season, what do you make of it from a player's point of view, and do you feel you are deserving to take on that challenge? And secondly, can I ask about Tapelo Moran as well? You came in, been competing with him. The assumption is that it's a healthy competition. Is there anyone in the team as versatile as Tapelo?
Firstly, Champions League, I mean, like, as players, we sit amongst each other and we have a chat about this competition, every competition we play. So one thing I've realized that every match we play, it's important, and we want to make sure that we win the match. So the Champions League, obviously, last season, the past, I think 4 or 5 seasons, we were knocked out at quarter. So this time around, we want to make sure that if we can go to semi-finals, so we wanna win. We wanna win the Champions League, obviously, because we know we wanna reach those bigger stages. As the coach said, we have goals where we wanna go, So on Tabodo's point, he is a good player, to be honest, and I think everyone deserves to play in Sundowns, but the coaches, they're the one who make the choice who plays, who doesn't play, So
As we start wrapping up, Seppo, I think
Yes, Coach, looking at that last month in Mudau, in terms of games that you played this time around, we go to an Ahly match where probably 2 great days to prepare. How important is that?
It's not easy. I was speaking to Michael Hoffman a little bit earlier today, and he was telling me how difficult it is for him. Imagine the coach who's come in and already came in, and the next day he was traveling with us to Cameroon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and then comes back to South Africa. And we went to Egypt. We are back. We were in Cape Town. So from the extreme north all the way to the extreme south, no training days, and sometimes you can see it with the players on the pitch, and that's what helps make the importance of camps pre-season, because that's really where we get the work done. And a lot of the principles that are embedded in the team are principles that we worked very, very hard on in pre-season. And you see it with the players. Sometimes one of the most important things that I've learned over the last couple of months is how to manage the players, and every single day, and maybe it's become such a redundant question or rhetorical question, because every day I'm asking, how you feeling, and every day I want an answer about how they are feeling, because I understand it's an enormous responsibility that they have. The other day I said to them, I feel sorry sometimes for them, I really do, because they carry such an incredible responsibility, and not a lot of people understand how tough this pressure is to deliver every 2-3 days without a lot of rest, without time with their families, without training sessions for preparation. They come in, there's already video clips, and they've got to stay for long video sessions, because that's most of the time that we have. We have short time with the training sessions that need to be intense and focused on preparation, and so they've got a very difficult task. I really don't envy them, and not a lot of people understand how difficult this responsibility is for them. But they carry it, like they say, heavy is the head that carries the crown. They carry it very, very well. They carry the pressure with good positivity, good sense of brotherhood amongst themselves, and that's why we all should be very, very proud of them. Everybody that feels and understands the yellow beat needs to sit in a situation where we are very, very proud of this group because of the incredible consistency that they've shown in the performances, and it's not easy. So kudos to them, and huge admiration and respect for the work that they continue to do.
Can I go with the last question?
Coach, over the last couple of months, I've had an opportunity of watching a lot of sports documentaries, particularly football, because it's a team sport. And a lot of coaches, what they speak about is the importance of a healthy dressing room. It's second to none in their view. In relation to what has been said about Sundowns in recent weeks as well, what has been the look like in the dressing room, and for you personally as well as Mudau, how big is a healthy and happy dressing room?
Yeah, very important. A healthy dressing room is what you see on the pitch is a reflection of what is happening off the pitch. And where do I stand with the group? I'm very proud, very, very proud. Proud of the intensity, proud of the spirit, proud of the training sessions. I watch the training sessions with so much pleasure. I can't wait to get home and put on the training sessions. And sometimes I know I send them clips late at night, and I make phone calls, and I speak about body language, and I speak about the training performances. And it's not easy, like I say, but it's because I can't wait to get home and watch the training and review. And sometimes I even enjoy it so much that I play it back again, or I go into the matches and I watch. So before even being a coach of this group and this football club, I'm actually an incredible fan and number one supporter. And the only thing I can say is we have to do our talking on the pitch. A lot has been said, and some of it not true. And that is also one of the things that disappoints me. Is I have big respect for the work that you guys do. It's very, very difficult, because you've got to report to a generation that only appreciates sensationalism. But they're also while we are trying to also be sensational, we have to try to also report the truth. And some of the things that have been reported are not true. But it's not for me to speak about, because I don't speak about, because then I validate some of the talks. So I don't want to get into the space, because that's not my space. My space is to coach this football club. My space is to protect this football club. My space is to coach the players, help the players to improve. And if you were to ask me, if the season were to end today, let's say they said, COVID is back, and we get into isolation again, and there's no more football, nothing. What type of feeling would I have? I would be so proud of this group. You watch the players, you watch Sailor, the growth, improvement. That's hard work and coaching. Cassius, hard work, coaching. Rodwin, hard work, coaching. Grant Kekana, Ntobi Mvala. So if you were, I can go on and on and on. So if you were to say to me today, what feeling would you have about the group if there were to be no more football and no competition? I tell you, I would be so proud of this group. But, and rightfully so, sport is about winning. And we judge people in the modern day sport on what they've won and and what they've achieved. The danger of that is that you miss profile athletes like Harry Kane, for an example, who's a top striker but has won nothing. And so you want to say to me Harry Kane is not one of the best strikers in the world because he's won nothing. You misprofile a coach like Marcelo Bielsa, for an example, or De Zerbi, for an example, at Brighton, and you say, oh, because he's won nothing, he's not one of the best coaches. If he wasn't one of the best coaches, then you wouldn't see coaches like Pep Guardiola, Julian Nagelsmann copying trends from De Zerbi. I can guarantee you, because I show the players, I see so many coaches copying De Zerbi, the coach of Brighton. Roger Schmidt is at Benfica the other day. You watch Club Brugge versus Benfica. 1-0 by Leverkusen and Benfica now. The guy is 1-0. But in my opinion, probably one of the best coaches in the world. One of the best, in top 3. Because I watch his games, I learn, I study, and there's so much that you can copy and improve. So, yeah, sport is about winning. But I also think sport is also about small marginal improvements and gains and day-to-day investments, because that is what I think probably makes a bigger contribution, because then you gauge how much you are helping people to become better human beings. And that is not something that is always evident based on success as a yardstick.
Final question?
Just wanted to get an injury update.
Injury update. Injury update. You know, we have a very healthy squad at the moment. Still, Khuliso picked up a knock in Cairo, so should still be out for quite some time. Bongani Zungu picked up a knock against Marumo Galang, so also still out for maybe another two weeks or so. Not something too serious, fortunately. Lebo Mabu is still a long-term absentee. Nasir a long-term absentee, but they are back both on the pitch, even though still doing isolated training. Lesedi Kapinga's picked up an injury a couple of weeks ago. He's back on the green grass. Rushin picked up a concussion and then also pulled something, not really, it's complicated injury with Rush, but also the medical department profiles it better than me, but also we should expect Rush out for quite some time. And then there's a couple of late fitness tests for a couple of people because of the load over the last couple of weeks. So Musa has got we have to manage the situation with Musa, we have to manage the situation with Rivaldo. Is there someone I'm forgetting? Savredra is back on the pitch. He started training with the group, but still not completing full training. And I think that's about it now. Give Mutupa a hairline fracture on the toe. Picked it up in Cameroon, in Cairo. So Gift is out, and then Kutu's got a family situation, so that's also going to make him miss this game. Not injury, but a family situation that makes him out. Who else am I missing? I think that's it. I think that's it. It's a bit of a list, but I think that's it.
Coach, I think this is an injury time. Final question. We'll just quickly allow.
Sure.
Coach Tando got his first squad. Stanley's in his another 23 squad to face Congo. Just how happy are you for his preparation this season?
Proud of him. Like I'm proud of all the players. Congratulations to the football club. Congratulations to the academy staff. The success of the younger ones is always a reflection of the hard work and the contributions that they make. The academy staff, Coach Surprise, Coach David, Sean Bishop, Sam Bata, these people work tirelessly, and also the scouts that work very hard to bring these players. So yeah, congratulations to them, and congratulations to Ntando, and yeah, there's a lot on that list. Sia is coming, Jerome is in that space. Look forward to the other Thando Buthelezi, very good player, very good player. I think you'll see more of him, and you'll be excited as a country. Yeah, so that's that. Very proud, and also wishing them all the best with Coach David and in their games against Congo.